Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be creating a geometric radial design using a crayon rubbing technique. For this project, you will need a piece of paper, scissors, a pencil, eraser, and crayons. We have to first turn our rectangular paper into a square. And to do that, we're going to take the bottom left corner and we're going to line up that bottom edge of our paper to the right edge of our paper. So we're going to touch that bottom edge to the right edge, and we're leading with that bottom left corner. And once we have those edges lined up, we are going to crease our paper. And then once our paper is creased, we're going to turn our paper and we're going to cut off that extra part on the right side using our scissors. After cutting off that extra piece of paper, when you open up your paper, you will notice that you have a square piece of paper now. We have to make 2 more folds. We're going to take the bottom of our paper and we're going to fold the bottom of our paper to the top, folding our paper in half. Then we are going to open our paper and turn it so that crease we just made is now vertically up and down. And we're going to do that again. We're going to take the bottom of our paper and fold it up to the top. Now, keeping our paper folded and along the crease that we first made, I'm going to fold my paper in half again to make a very small square. Next, I'm going to open up my paper all the way. And once I do this, I'm going to take my pencil and very lightly I'm going to section off 1/4 of my paper. So I'm just drawing a line on my creases for 1/4 of my paper just to help me stay inside of the lines when I start to create my geometric design. Next, we're going to take a black crayon and we are going to create a design in the quarter of our paper that we just sectioned off. Now you're going to design a quarter of your paper using basic lines and some geometric shapes. Now the shapes that you use don't have to be whole shapes. They could be a quarter of the shape or half of the shape, because later on when we create the radial symmetry, it will turn that half or that quarter of the shape into a whole shape. Create your design however you choose. Just remember to stay inside that quarter of your paper. In creating your design, you can make some areas more bold than others by making the lines of the line or the shape a little thicker. Once you're done creating your design, you're going to take your paper and fold it in half, following the horizontal crease. Once your paper is folded, you're going to take the side of a pencil or a marker and you're going to rub it across your paper. Make sure you hold your paper tightly with your opposite hands and keep the fold steady. This way your image comes out cleanly once you're done rubbing the crayon onto the other side of the paper. Make sure to use hard pressure when you're doing this. Once you're all done rubbing that image onto the opposite side of the paper, you are going to open your paper up to check if the image has transferred to the other side. If there are some spots that look a little dull, just simply fold your paper again and rub a little harder in those areas. Once you are able to see your design clearly, you can take your crayon and trace over your lines and your shapes. We're going to follow those same steps one more time. So now I'm going to take my paper, fold it in half, and this time I'm going to rub the side of my marker along the entire paper to transfer those two areas onto the opposite side of the paper. Remember to check your paper. If there are some areas that are a little dull, go ahead and fold your paper over again and rub a little harder in those areas. If you are able to see your design clearly, go ahead and start tracing with crayon. Once you are all done tracing all of your lines and shapes, you now have your radial design. Radial symmetry is when you have symmetrical elements of your artwork in a circular fashion radiating from a central point. When you begin to color your geometric radial design, make sure to keep those colors symmetrical throughout your artwork. Whatever colors you use on the designs on 1/4 of your paper, you should use the same colors on the same designs on the other 3/4 of your paper. For example, this heart-shaped design on 1/4 of my paper is going to be purple. And to make sure that I'm keeping my design symmetrical in color, I'm going to color the other 3/4 of my paper in those heart-shaped designs purple as well. I hope you enjoyed creating this project with me today. Don't forget to have fun, be creative, and don't worry if you make a mistake. See you next time.